How about that? Another ½ inch. So in fact, we've moved that point an inch to a half there. And we're gonna cut this off, so make sure, I'll put it down here. All right, let's try it again. I'm going there. Now, when I said that the lace becomes a factor, what if I want to put scallops up here? Or the edging of lace or something? I have to look at that lace and literally take the shape. This shape has to match the lace, doesn't it? Okay, so you may put points wherever you want. However, the lace you're using is not going to cooperate with you. Okay? So I'll show you how to shape that lace, but I mean, you have to consider all of these things before. Why lace shape when you don't have to? You know what I'm saying? Pick a lace that maybe had a deeper scallop or something if that's what your plan is. There was one here with a little scallopy thing. Where'd she go? Is that me? That's me. Do your kids still remember me? The whole family knows my videotapes. So some of these were scallopy. Yeah, of course, I could never find what I want. But anyway. So again, that's straight. That's relatively.
Turn it.
Yeah, on the other side.
With a point. There's another one. Try that one. I can never find what I'm looking for. Here, there she is. Okay. But see how the hand didn't do really a scallop because of that extreme shape. Okay? So think about that, okay? Maybe if you have a simple lace, if she's on a budget, you find something and it's a simpler thing, then you can go more extravagant with the shapes, go a little more drama, you know, make the points a little more exaggerated or whatever. And, you know, but then if you have a very beautiful, priceless piece of lace, you gotta go with the lace. The lace will tell you what to do. Y'all nodding your heads and y'all want to go to sleep. That's okay. I'll do the work today. So here I go. I'm scooching it over. You can do this physically. I know you all know how to pattern make. It's the reason why and why it's different in bridal wear. So I'm going to bring my point here. What do you think? Tell me. Yes? It's okay, right? I don't want to compromise the integrity. This is something I've learned because I have all of your designs. And then I come in, I do fittings, and I want to keep your vision, right? I don't want to change your whole design, right? You're the creative, but I have to address the technical issues. So, do you understand now what I was talking about? Okay, I'm going to give it a little trace, because I have seam allowances under there. And I think we're good to go here. Yes? All right, problem solved. So before I can separate any pattern piece, let's review. What do I need? Must have. And I'm looking at the front.
Line.
I have it. One more thing. Must have.
Oh, the amount of
I have grain line. I said that. One.
notches. The notches.
I need those notches. I
3,
need one on the bust.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
1.5 below.
It's coming back to you. 1.5 inches below and 1.5 inches above. I must have 3 notches to be able to sew any princess line at the bust. Otherwise, I see them coming like this from down the hallway. I could see that you sewed one, you know, with your right hand, and you go nice and it flows. You did your directional sewing and all these wonderful things. But then when it comes to the other side, then you have to flip it. And you do, and then you're going in the opposite. And I could see these distribution sometimes ends up here. Go, you laughing? Yeah, you've seen it, girl. You've seen it.
So it's bust point, ½ inch
1.5 above. It's again, it totals that 3-inch radius. Try to remember that 3-inch radius is for a size 10 bust. So that's kind of things we talk about in bra making, obviously, when we address these kinds of things. Can I separate?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, let's add a grade line.
So it's 3-inch radius for a size 10.
Yep.
So what would...
What's the grade? It's the same grade as everything else. It's a 1/4-inch grade.
So 1/4 inch up?
For 12, all the way around, it would be 3 1/4
Okay.
for 12,
Okay.
and it would be 2 3/4 for size 8. Still the
Okay.
same, it's a 1/4-inch grade. That's what you use for sizing everywhere else.
Okay.
Only, but it's just now because it's concentrated in this area, it makes you question and you wonder, is it the
was
same?
just-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that, absolutely. Maybe we should think about the bottom a little bit before we start carving everything up. I know what I can't think of. I need to move some information here. I've got, this now is gonna be my new center back. That's my new center front, and I want you to be oriented when I start setting things apart. Okay, so Victoria said the side front piece needs a grain line before we get too excited. Let's do that. But it's better to do, obviously, before I cut the pieces apart. It's a little more difficult. But let me just talk to you. In case you have to add a grain line, you've already cut this off. How do you know? How do you add a grain? Where's the straighted grain? It's perpendicular to the bust or to the waist. You have your horizontal lines there, and you go 90 degrees. That'll be your clue, okay? All right, I'm gonna throw a grain line here. I'll do the same on the back, right? So center back has its grain line. And let's give the side back piece a grain line as well. Back's a little smaller when it comes to bodices and torsos. It's bigger on pants. Alrighty, now I see one more thing. I'm doing sort of this upper edge. Before I finish off this upper edge, I have to take a little contour pinch in my center back dart and increase that dart by 3 inches. So it'll be 3/4. 3/8 here, 3/8 here, join it back. I'll put the little numbers for you in a second, the measurements. Let's take a little contour pinch there. 3/8 and 3/8, a pinch like this, literally a pinch. If you look at a pinch, there's 3/8 of the nail, right? See my nail where it's touching? Literally. All right, so 3/8 we went this way, 3/8 we went that way. Yeah, there's a few little pointers, even if you think you're an expert pattern maker. So now, like in the front, this got mucked up. And I have to blend in smooth, sharing the difference. What did I did blue. So let's just, or we could have left it all together.
Is it contouring the shoulder blade? Or that's the way?
It's just, okay, so this part of the block covers the shoulder and those muscles up here, but this little guy sits down here, and that's under bust starts to get narrow. It's gonna fall right now, sweetie. Guaranteed you have to do this one for sure. It gapes because the fabric is gone from the shoulder and the upper part. It allows this to move away from the body and gape. Okay. Like the chick whose boobs fell in the soup. Did I tell you about that one? I told you. No, you didn't know about that? And she was reaching for the bread and there's a little contouring there. That was very appetizing dinner. Oh God. But that's the stuff you find in the store. They don't think about contouring. They don't think about nothing. They think about sales. So theoretically I could share this, but I'm gonna go a little deeper now because it's evening wear, right? And so that's my new back neckline. That's what it is. It's all part of the neckline. I'm just gonna take that for the other side. Okay, so I'm good with that. That's the upper part, that's the upper part. Let's think about the bottom part before I end up with, how many pieces will I have? 4. Before I start cutting this way and end up with 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, okay? What happens down here? We can look here, we can look anywhere, we can look here, but I'll tell you something. I think I had an example. Of course I had an example, but I'll never find it now, but never cut it at the waist. It's not flattering. Okay. Look at this one. Now her head's missing or whatever. That's an umpire. What's that impact on her body? It's not doing good things. Look at this one. A little bit longer than the waist. What's that one do? It does good things. I had one. I thought I saw one. And I have more somewhere else, but anyway. And I should update these, but they're all pretty much the same. That's the thing, you know, they don't do new line of wedding dresses the way they do lines of other clothing, okay? So you're not going to get a new collection spring and summer and fall, winter and all that. No. A lot of the dresses, even if you look at Kleinfeld's, there's sort of classic standard things that stay, and they don't change them around, the designers, okay? You see one cut at the waist here? This looks goofy, but they're young and fresh and something different, so. I don't know.
How about this one? Yeah, okay.
Which one?
Is it the waist?
Yeah, kind of at the waist. Yeah, that's a good one, actually. I get hung up on this crochet bit, and I ignore the fact that that is kind of cut at the waist, isn't it? How's it look? It makes her look like a little trunk, like almost straight up and down. And my suggestion would be to go 2 inches down on the waist. Now, you can still wear a belt, and if they want to do all the bedazzling things, they can. I thought I just saw one. Okay, so look at her. Her waist is in here. I can see that's where her body is bending. Do you see it? Okay, and so that goes like exactly 2 inches down past, especially at the side seam. And then we can shape it or do whatever, okay? Trust me on this, because it's been...
Suggest to do that?
Huh?
You suggest to do that?
I do, absolutely. It's more figure flattering. Okay? I don't know, I can't find that. Oh, stay. Okay, so let's go, what are we doing? 2 inches down at the waist?
Drop waist or no?
What did you say?
Drop waist?
No. No. This would be still something with a waistline. It's, drop waistline needs to be more. I would go like 3 or 4 inches down. And that's where we do yokes and things on our skirts, okay? No, this reads, like I said, she can wear a little waistline, a belt rather, and still have it looking. I just find this more flattering. So I'm gonna go down, this accentuate, and this is great for big girls because you can build in this shape, even if their shape is like this. With the dress, and just passing, skimming that waist really makes the waist look smaller. It's an optical illusion.
Do you put the belt at the waist, or?
Yeah, you can put that, it'll naturally go. But this seam should, or the skirt, if you're gonna have big ball gowns or whatever attached, again, you know, depends, right, what you have. They do fit flare, they do all kinds of things. All right, what am I doing? 2 inches down. So we went down here, let me write it all down for you guys. That was 2 inches here as well. Okay, so let's try one of these bridal peaks. These points, and we've seen those everywhere for about 100 years. Of course, I'll never find one now that I'm looking for it. Very common to do. This one's subtle, but to have it shaped, okay? I have other pictures over there, but you see any bridal peaks around? That's that. That's definitely for, I would call this one a drop, okay? What am I looking for? Peaks, peaks, peaks.
So
That's what they call the point, the shape of the bodice.
So that one with the
where's it?
feathers is the
Where
drop.
is it, sweetie?
This one is the dropped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though it's shaped straight or whatever, it's, yeah, it's good 4 inches down from the waist. This one has a beautiful, subtle little thing, and it's a good little example. See what it does to the body? It just makes it look very elegant, and I use this for mothers of the brides. I use the same tricks, like adding sweeps or, you know, dropping it lower in the back. Very slimming. I use this on myself, obviously. Those hemlines a little bit, or even a jacket. And then slightly shaped or longer in the back. Does nice things, nice things. And you can't really maybe place it or figure out exactly why this thing looks so good on the person's body, but I'm telling you, that's what it is. I don't know. Where's the one with the peak? Isn't that pretty? So elegant. Just very subtle. These are all of these are down, right? Nothing cut on the waist. If you want to look like a little ballerina, cut in the waist, I'm sure they do it all the time, and have the big tutu skirt, well, that's okay. If you're trying to hide stuff. But that line and a belt on top will do what to the body? There's no. Yes, it cuts it in half, my dear. Maybe if she was a big girl, a tall girl, you could do that. I don't know. There was a peak here somewhere. By golly. And it's very common. Apparently it's not. We can't find it. Anyway, so that's almost like a reverse little peak.
In the case of a pregnant bride, would you put it 2 inches above the waist?
I would do an empire for her. Now brides, again, that goes out the window because they want to show their bellies. I don't like it. There was this red carpet season, there was a couple pregnant ladies, and they had, you know, Gucci, Dior, somebody great, a big designer on there. And then they did beautiful, what's her name? Bridal wear. I mean, pregnancy wear. Not that skin tight, stick out the belly, but it, you know, like we used to do back in the olden days. Who was that? Come on, you know, she did this one.
Natalie Portman.
Huh? Natalie Portman, I think, had a few beautiful looks for her pregnancy. Just beautiful. It was all white or something, very sophisticated, but it had accommodation, extra fabric for the baby. Okay, so you don't have to do just, you know, pull over the sweater. I think that's personally a cop-out, but that's all I have to say. Anyway, I'm still looking for that bloody peak, and I can't find it. So it's longer in the center front than it is at the side seam. So at the side seam, I have 2 inches. What am I going to do at the center front? How low can I go? That's driving me nuts. If we could have a little reference here, would be nice. Check behind you there. There's those folded pictures over there, girls.
Like 3.5 maybe.
Okay, let's try. Over there behind you, girls. The black.
You don't want to go too far down, right? Because it's going to draw attention to the bride.
The hoo-ha,
Right?
right? Wait a second. We only have so much room here. How low can I go? Yeah, some of those are older, but if I go right here or something, can I do that? No. I really can't do that. It's terrible. You can't do that.
Sorry.
It's ridiculous. So I really can't. Yeah, those are older. I wanted some fresh things.
Oh, and then the other side?
Yeah, they're common, they're used all the time. Whatever, anyway, I don't know, when I'm packing it up and the class is over, I'll say, oh yeah, there it is. So we've got 2 at the side seam, let's see, like, Lacey said 3.5, let's see where that hits.
Well, you dropped.
One other thing I need to consider, it's okay, Samantha, don't worry about it, sweetie, I'll get the idea, the gist of it. Bless you again. So we got the hoo-ha in the front, what happens in the back? Well, wait a minute, we said we're putting the zipper in the back.
Because it can go straight across at the back and just dip in the front.
Yeah, if that's what I want to know. Do I have the same point in the front? Do I have it longer? Sometimes back in the day we did these more extreme longer because of what else was happening. So this went down. Is that one going to go sort of proportionately down as well? But you have to remember that you decided to put the zipper in the center back. So,
Has to be shorter.
hang on. How much do I need for a zipper?
For the back?
Yep. From the waist down, standard. 7 inches. So let's put that on here. There, bless you. That's 7. So that's where the zipper needs to go. I can't have my point and my zipper crashing into one another because I cannot sew it. It's impossible to sew it effectively.
I'm okay.
You sure? You were fine when you got here. So there's my reference. I can't go, I don't want to be around this thing. I want to clear it up here somewhere, or I want to clear it down there somewhere. Physically to sew a zipper and a style line, because this shape and then the zipper ending is not a good thing.
Why? Bulkiness?
Yeah, you can't sew it, sweetie. It doesn't sew good. Okay? Not only that, but what about this thing too, right? It's better if I have a little bit of fabric. So let's keep that in mind. That's 7. Lacey said 3.5 on the front. And that would work for our back zipper is my point, okay? When you're making decisions about the front, you still have to consider the back, okay? I want you to consider all these things and not make the same mistakes that I found. You cut it, you do fittings on the client, and then you see this back thing and you're thinking, oh my God, what if she notices how that looks or that zipper messes up? Ugh. It's not the way to do it. Let's think about it up front. So 3.5, I'm gonna take my pencil, what do you think? So 3.5 is there. Then I take this guy and I go there. What do you think? I don't agree. Let's go down a bit. Let's go to 5, see what happens. There's 5. There's the front secure, that's how it's gonna go. 5 is better, no?
Yes.
What do you think, Liz? We good?
Yeah.
Subtle.
So I mean,
Or
if
a
you're
bit
standing
more.
up and this is your natural waist, and you've gone 2 inches down, and then you're going 5 inches down, like how low is that
Oops.
going?
Yeah, that's 7, isn't it? No,
Right?
I went.
Like
I didn't
it's
go
not my
down.
taste.
I didn't go, girl, from the 2 inches down 5.
Okay.
From the waist, always. I did
Yeah.
2 here and 5 there.
Okay.
That's fair. Can we do that? Yeah, let's do it. And then we'll write down the 5 inches. What do you think? That's beautiful blue. Again, it's just a reference because we're gonna have to separate things in a minute. But at least I still do it. Just like I always do that hem when we did skirts, and I apply the hem allowance. So am I gonna do the same in the back?
No, I wouldn't do the same in the back. I would
What are you
just
gonna do in the back?
meet the 1 inch. Was it 1 inch you went to?
2?
2 inch? And then go straight across.
What do you wanna do, Amanda? What do you wanna do? What do you wanna do? Come on, guys, make the executive decisions. That's the hard
Go
part.
with a slighter curve, but not that deep.
You don't want 5 inches in the back? Let's see what it looks like.
You don't want it to touch your tailbone.
I mean, traditionally, I don't know. I can't really say that anymore. There's 5 in the back. Let's see what that looks like.
No.
Sorry. Nope.
You don't like it?
No.
Once upon a time it was that way. But
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Mhm.
I would say so. Yeah,
Yeah.
we did that. We just knew standard, same front and back.
Not anymore.
Now, okay, so what am I doing? Going shorter.
Shorter.
Let's keep this one balanced, and then we'll do a nice sort of little 3-inch, an even one with a softer curve on the next sample, okay? So let's have one with the points and one without the points, okay? So we got 5 inches here. Now, I don't want you to be confused with the 7 inches. This one is 5. Okay. And it works nice with my French curve. I'm able to draw it easily. I mean, doesn't that say something? If I can draw it easily, that means I can probably cut it easily. Can I put it through production easier? Things like that you need to think about. All right, so that's the lower edge plan.
Is the 7-inch
Don't
zipper
you
just a
have to-
zipper?
It's just a reference, yeah. So my
your
zipper will end here and my style line will end there.
Okay.
And we're clear.
Do
Okay?
you have to reshape your dart at the back? The point? Or are you gonna leave it open?
No, I'm doing princess lines. I just want to have a
Okay.
peek at the side seams here when I did what I did. So I know what's coming. Here, I have a little bit of a point, okay? So if things are not 90 degrees, here's where you get to actually see when I say to you it has to be 90 degrees, all this stuff I've been ranting about. This is why, because things meet and they meet as a point. They don't meet fluid, shoulders, certain parts where it's important. Okay, so we have to soften that up in a minute. We good? I think we'll do some labeling and cut it apart, add our seam allowances, etc. So this guy is what? Center front. Front. Center front, what is this? What am I calling this one? Sweetheart? Because I'll do a different neckline on the other one, and then
Yeah.
we'll do a matching lower edge as well. Sweet. It's wrong, but they say it now, it's become mainstream. That's really not what a sweetheart looks like.
What?
They call it that on the bridal shows, and that's why I say it, but that's not really a sweetheart. Sweetheart, anyway, cut one. This is, sweet. Do I have to write all that?
No. Just do SH.
I know. Too late now. Sweetheart, side front piece coming at you.
2.
Cut 2. Let's do the back, get this, all the business done. Huh?
So what's the actual name if it's not a sweetheart?
That's not a sweetheart. It's just, I don't know. I forgot now because I know it as a sweetheart because I had to adapt. Sweetheart. We should Google it. Center. But I bet you Google's got the same thing. But we should maybe Wikipedia.
Back.
Center back. Thank you. A sweetheart was actually like this and like this. Yeah, it is cute. It's wicked on the body.
So,
Your
like,
boobies would look amazing in that, girl.
Is
Sweetheart center back cut 2. It
like
does
a-
good
it's like a
stuff.
strap?
It's like those pin-up girls that used to
Yeah,
do
yeah, yeah.
that.
Okay.
It really, it looks nice, right? So, sweetheart, side, back, cut 2. Cut 2 back, yeah, that's right. Okay, before I forget, and this is the most boring part, so still a size 10, right? I'm gonna change that. Let's give it a size. All right, now we can start carving it apart.